People of the YouTube, it is I, Optometron, back with episode 5 of the Wonder Bathos podcast. If you find yourself here in episode 5, hopefully you have enjoyed the first 4 episodes, or you just really like my guest tonight, Erckamerca. I am so happy to have her on tonight's episode. She is a wonderful, dear friend of mine. We have had so much fun over the years playing video games and just acting crazy, and it gets really chaotic. And I'm going to let her introduce herself. So, Ercka, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. So I am Erckamerca or Erky or just Ercka, whatever is fine. I started streaming on Twitch. I actually started streaming a long time ago on my PlayStation 4, and it was basically just like me and some buddies like playing like Battlefront and like fucking around, finding out, and we were just like uploading videos like that way just for funsies. And then quarantine happened. And dun, dun, dun. Like, yeah, like just like the majority of people that I know now, everybody started, you know, because we had nothing to do. So
that was Kushner's answer too, by the way. Yeah. She literally, it was like, how'd you start? And she's like, well, I watched my friend on Twitch, and then the pandemic happened, and I became a streamer.
Yeah,
it was so
that's
good.
how I met Kushner. Like,
yeah,
it was, you know, the times of Rona. And I had nothing else going on, and everybody was like, you know, I know you just kind of do it for funsies, but like you should like really invest in doing this, like get yourself an Elgato and, you know, get in there. And I was like, okay.
You made it sound like a romance novel because you were like, the times of Rona. That sounds like a book.
Of Rona.
That sounds like a love story in feudal Japan or something. The times of Rona. Like,
that's what it felt like.
so now that you're invested and you're like in the thing, like I feel like most of my streamer friends, probably like myself, feel like even like not even trying to like make a career out of it or do anything else with it, I still feel like I can't walk away from it, you know. And I kind of feel like you're probably in the same boat. Too many friends and too many good memories, and like love it so much. Do you have any goals with it? Like even not career goals? I mean, that's totally fine if you do and you want to do that someday, but do you have like any goals that you want to accomplish with it?
I mean, I would love to sit here and be like, yeah, I want to be a partner and I want to do this and I want to do that. Like, there's so many things I would love to do with streaming. I don't know if it's realistic for me to do them anymore. During that time frame when like I was really kicking off on Twitch, yeah, things were rolling and it was great. And now that, you know, everybody's back to work pretty much full time and things are kind of evening out and normalizing a little bit more, you know, I've got a full-time job now, and then I work part-time on the weekends, and I'm also like taking night classes, and it's just like it's hard for me to fit streaming like a steady schedule into my everyday schedule as well. So
holy
it's hard.
Shit, I didn't know you were working 2 jobs and doing night classes. That is insane.
Yeah.
How do you keep your mustache so pretty?
That's why I need the funds to fund the mustache.
Oh, okay, so you get somebody to professionally do it. That's why it looks better than mine. Mine, I just got off of work and have been dealing with the cooking dinner and handling the kid and stuff. That's why I like the podcast. It's because people are going to listen to this more than they're going to watch it, but we still have a little visual something if people do want to be able to see that magnificent mustache. It really brings out the pink in your headphones.
Thank you. I like it. Picasso.
And look, what about the rest of your ensemble? You got a nice Snuggie there.
Yeah, so this is my Christmas Snuggie that Kushner gave me for Christmas. I am obsessed with this thing. I will wear it anywhere. It's got a hood on it.
Do you wear it out? Do you really wear it out?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't worn it in public yet. I probably would, though. I wore it to Christmas dinner. I gave 0 fucks. I was like,
that's Christmas dinner, though. Yeah, I get that. That's family. That's fine.
I'll have a full face of makeup and a Snuggie on. I don't care.
Okay, so you'll go to like the Met Gala wearing your Snuggie and have your makeup all done.
I'm not that fancy, but like I'll probably roll into Walmart wearing this. I don't care.
I mean, yeah, no. Walmart, I feel like the more clothes you have
classy for them.
You're just weird for having more clothes on in Walmart, not what you're wearing.
But yeah, it's got like a pocket for snacks and everything. This thing is great.
Is it big enough to fit a cat in?
Yeah. My cat does not want any part of it. I tried. She's not a fan.
Try harder.
She likes to lay on it though, because like sometimes at night, like if it's too warm in my room, I'll just like set it on the bottom of my bed, and she likes to lay on top of it because it's really soft.
Is that, I mean, so it's machine washable. We're gonna do a whole hour on just the Snuggie. It's the real star of the show tonight.
You can thank Kushner for that one.
I will. I'm definitely going to hit her up afterwards and be like, thank you. I was so happy to have Ercka's Snuggie as a guest tonight.
The real guest star is the Snuggie.
That's so cool.
I don't even think it's like an official Snuggie, though. I don't know what brand it is. But it's great.
I mean, does it matter really? Because I feel like most Snuggies are about the same. Like, it doesn't matter the brand. Nobody's checking your Snuggie to make sure that you didn't buy the off-brand. You know? I can tell from here. That's not a real Snuggie.
Snobs.
You fibber. How dare you? How dare you bring some off-brand Snuggie onto my show? Something else I do like to do with my guests pretty early on in the episode is I like to test your knowledge. What is your earliest memory of us hanging out? Do you remember the day we met?
I don't remember exactly what day it was, but I remember the moment exactly. And it was, you were playing Phasmophobia with Kush, and this was like peak Phasmophobia. Like it was popping. And she was like, you need to get in here and play Phasmophobia with this guy Opto. He's hilarious, great, such a fun time. Like, you're gonna love him. I was like, I'm in. So I think that was the first game that we played together was Phasmophobia. I was like, hell yeah. And then I just, after that, I was like, I love this whole community. I love you, your wife, you know, everybody is so chill. I just love it.
I do too. We do have such like an amazing and unique group of friends. Like it is so like refreshing because you meet a lot of cool people on Twitch sometimes, and like they're cool and you're super cool with them, but you don't get in like tight with them, you know, or become like super close. And so like I do love that about Kushner and you and Chili and our group, because like I introduced Kushner and Chili, and like I feel like they're two peas in a pod now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're like besties. He's like fighting me for the #1 spot. I'm like,
they're going on vacation and stuff next year, or this year. Is it this year? Aren't they playing on like?
I mean, technically, I think it might be this year because it's 2023 now.
We would like to try to go. It just really depends on, because they invited us as well. So we may see. We may see. That'd be really cool to be able to hang out with them. I haven't seen Chili doesn't live that far from me, and I haven't seen him in like over a year.
Really?
Yeah, he's like 10 or 15 minutes down the road. Just work schedules and stuff. I was working like 80 hours a week for a while, and now that schedules calmed down, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna start a podcast. And so like,
dude, no, you were quite a busy bee.
I hate it. I hated it, but it all paid off. It all paid off, and things are so much better now. Like, I love it. Now I feel bad hearing about your plight. You're like, I'm working full-time job and part-time on the weekends and taking night classes, and I'm like, that all sounds so familiar. I'm getting PTSD.
Yeah. It's like you're just looking towards the light at the end of the tunnel, you know?
And there will be.
Yeah.
It all pays off to something in the end, as long as you stick with it and don't let it destroy you, I guess.
Yeah. I'm just looking forward to like having more free time for like friends and family again. Is my main thing. Yeah,
I feel that. So much. That's like our new schedule. Like, we got our weekends off, and we were trying to figure out our streaming schedule and stuff. Me and Fantasy, and it was like weekends. I was like, we have the weekends open. We can stream on the weekends, and I'm like, no. We do not talk about the stream. Yeah, we don't do the stream stuff. We don't talk about stream stuff. Like, weekends are sacred family time, and then we can just go ham on the evenings during the week. And so it's been really nice so far. I'm very jazzed about. I have people lined up to do this. And
I heard you're like booked out, dude. You're like a hot commodity.
It feels really good too. It feels like really. I didn't think I'd be able to book a month solid, let alone like have 4 months out or whatever, 3 months out. It is crazy, dude. And I still have like more people coming out. Nobody has come out and asked directly, but I've had a lot of people that I haven't asked yet that are like on my list be like, hey, yeah, so podcast. And I'm like, dude, I got you. I'm going to ask you to be on it. This is going to. Man, I have probably at least a year's worth of people to ask to see if they'll be on it. So we are, and then we're gonna start rolling back through and having people that were on earlier episodes. You're on episode 5, dude.
Oh my god! I feel like this is gonna be like an SNL moment. Like I'm gonna be Steve Martin just coming back every once in a while, like, hey.
Yep. That's amazing. I love that you use that reference and Steve Martin. That is amazing. That's why
I'm gonna be in like what is it, the 5 Timers Club or whatever.
Yep, the 5 Timers Club. You're on season 1. This is a memorable moment right here. So Phasmophobia, we've been going pretty ham. How many times have you played The Forest now?
So many.
I think I'm on like 6 or 7.
So I started playing The Forest before I even got a PC. I was still playing it on PS4 at the time. A friend had recommended it to me because it was on sale. And it was just like this unknown thing at the time. Like nobody was talking about it. And he was like, this game's awesome. Like, I think you would like it. And I was like, okay. So I played it with my friend. I didn't know there were cannibals in it though. So he didn't tell me that part. He just told me it was like a survival, like base building kind of thing. And then these like little naked people come out and try to fucking eat me. And I'm like, ah!
That lady has her boobs out and she's trying to eat me. This is weird.
Yes, with the nip nops.
With the nip nops out. For our listeners at home who haven't watched any of me and Ercka play The Forest, Ercka is like legendary at this game. She knows all the hot secrets. She knows where everything's at. She last night, a quote, and I quote from Ercka last night. Oh, I can just take down the final boss with a bow if I need to. It's fine. And like one of the points of the game is you have to collect pieces to a gun in order to be able to beat the boss, because you can do it without the gun, but it takes like 45 minutes and literally every piece of your soul to be able to do it. Ercka's like, I got this with a bow. I could do it by myself.
I don't know about by myself, but like it's easier when you have like other people with you, so like someone can distract and like run around in circles, you know, and then somebody else is like pew, pew, pew.
Yeah, get her attention while I shoot.
Like these and then like when you're low on health, you like swap out, like tag in, you know.
I'm excited to see how fast we can do it this playthrough. I think we're gonna do it pretty fast. We're getting pretty close too, aren't we?
I really want to. I think we are, because we have most of the stuff now. But my whole thing is like I have been trying to get all the achievements on Steam for this for so long, and every time I start a new playthrough, I'm like, I'm gonna do a vegan run because that's an achievement, and you can't kill anything and you can't eat any meat. And I'm like, I have to rely on other people in order to get the things that I need to beat the game if I'm gonna do that. Right.
There's
so
a
it's
vegan.
Super
what are you supposed
hard.
to just eat berries the whole time?
Yeah, just berries, dude. And
that
snacks.
seems impossible, because like at any given time you can only find like 3 bushes, and it takes one whole bush to get your stomach stuff.
That's
back
the
up.
thing. Like you can build a garden and have like blueberry bushes like for miles. That's fine. But if you need to take those with you, you need a pouch to hold the berries. But you need skins to make the pouch. But you can't kill an animal to get the skins to make the pouch. So.
Oh, but people can give you the skin to be able to do it. Okay.
Yes.
That seems... And you've already killed and eaten people this run, right?
I already gave up.
I mean, maybe after this run, maybe we'll do a quick one. We'll try to go through it as fast as we can.
Like a speed run.
Yeah, we'll speed run it, but just Ercka's not allowed to kill anything.
Someone has to carry me, guys. Just please let me get this achievement, and then I'll be done talking about it.
We can do that. I think we can do that. I think that's definitely not out of the realm of possibility.
And like, if you want that achievement, I'll do it for you after. We'll do another one. I'll do it for you.
we're going for 50 playthroughs of The Forest before the second one comes out.
Yes. It's coming out soon, too, like next month.
I thought excited. They said that like 3 months ago that it was coming out next month.
Yes.
And they keep pushing it back. I'm excited for it, too. I really want to see the differences that they've made because really, I mean, I have no complaints about it now the way it is.
Right.
I think anything broken about a game that we enjoy, I usually just like the broken parts. Like I like being able to slide down the wall like 50 feet and not die. Like that's pretty cool.
Like it's a little buggy, but at the same time, like I paid like $15 for this game, and it's like it was just this nothing game that like just popped up out of nowhere. It wasn't like a big title or anything, and it's like one of like. Everybody I talk to loves this game. Like, I don't think I've met a single person that's played it and was like, nope, not for me.
I have not heard anybody say that they didn't like The Forest. That is true.
Yeah,
I've not heard a single person say they didn't like it, and everybody is really excited for the second one. Now, it's funny you said that, though, because some games, by a miracle, end up catching a following later on. Because, like, Among Us came out in, like, 2015, 2016, and it wasn't until, like, last year or the year before, like, those devs woke up to, like, $1 million in their bank account, like, for a game
like
they
one
made
of those
5 years
things,
ago.
Like, quarantine really pushed, like, a lot of things that I feel like people wouldn't have given the time of day to if that didn't happen. Because people were stuck at home. We had nothing to do, nowhere to go. People missed interacting with their friends. So, like, it was a great way to spend time with your friends and stuff and still, like, have something to do to pass time while we're all just waiting in limbo for this thing to blow over. You know?
That is so crazy to think about because, like, think about content creators, too. Like, some people that have blown up and hit partner and stuff, like, that probably wouldn't have if the pandemic didn't happen. Not saying, like, thanks for the pandemic, you know, but, like, at least something good, you know, at least something good came out of it. I'm sure there are so many people that would rather be creating content and stuff than having to go clock in for a 9-to-5 job, you know? Yeah.
It was, it is a horrible event that happened, and it sucks. And,
still
you know,
happening.
A lot of lives, exactly. It's still happening. A lot of lives are affected by this thing that we had no control over. But I mean, at least there's like small bursts of happiness in between the chaos, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's a very, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. Cause like, I don't know, even in the darkest times, there's always something good that you can take from it. Like look on the positive side, you know? And like, dude, now there's like new viruses out there. Like we were
talking about this the other day.
Yeah, we got super sick last week, and like even the urgent care people were like, you have a virus of some sort, but we have no idea what it is. It's not flu, it's not COVID, but you're running a fever. Don't go back to work until your fever goes away. And we were at home for like a full week. And dude,
that's what they told me too. Like I went and I got tested. I was super, super, super sick, and I don't really get sick that much. And I was super sick, and I went and I got tested, and it wasn't COVID, and it wasn't the flu. And the nurse was just like, you got some kind of nasty virus. You just better like stay out of work for a little bit until your temperature goes down and just like, you know,
go home, drink some water, try not to die.
Yeah, exactly. So like it might have been COVID, to be honest. It probably was just like some other strain they don't know about yet.
A variant. There was like a tiny little clause in my lab results where they said something like that. They were like, these tests are not FDA approved, and they also had a line that said the slightest invariable, which means like if they tapped the test the wrong way, or like any sort of dust particle or something could get in there and cause it to be a false negative. So it is definitely possible that it could have been like COVID or like some sort of strain of COVID they just can't test for yet. So definitely this is our PSA portion of the episode. Please be safe. Check your temperature.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. If you're running a fever, don't go outside. And also wash your hands. And yeah. I was going to say
wash your damn hands.
I was going to say something about not going out into public without a mask on. At the very least, if you are coughing or have any sort of symptoms either. Like don't be that guy.
Even if you have like a negative test and like they're like, it's not COVID, it's not the flu, you got something. Wear a mask. Don't be gross.
Don't risk getting somebody else sick. Even if they're strangers, even if they cut you off in traffic, don't be that guy.
Don't be coughing on people. That's violent.
Jumping out of the red light like, oh, man. So we have gotten the streamer questions out of the way, which leaves us on a bridge moving into the next part of the episode, Ercka. And so we can talk media. We can talk about like movies, TV shows, or like any sort of new games coming out. We already kind of started with Sons of the Forest, or we can go into like Uncharted territory and we can talk about like conspiracy theories or aliens or like any of that stuff. As the guest of the episode, you get first pick. What do you want to talk about?
Don't even get me started on
I'm getting you started.
Theories, bro.
Let's do it. You be my conspiracy person.
Oh my gosh.
Come on.
Okay, I'm not like a big
my
conspiracy person or anything like that, but I have a problem. So like I have a desk job, so it's very quiet for the most part. I'm just like sitting there doing my own little thing. Burp, 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 burp. So I like to have a podcast on to pass the time, so I have something in my ear, you know. And I listen to a lot of like true crime podcasts, like conspiracy type things, little spooky ookies. Just, you know, kind of interesting. Like, you know, there are just some things we don't have the answers to, and that's crazy. You know? So like some of the big conspiracies that like they talk about on these podcasts all the time are like MK Ultra, and the fact that that has been confirmed that it was a thing. Like there's so many like government secrets I feel like that we won't know about until all the people that were involved in them are dead.
You know, as much as those as I listen to, I don't know what MK Ultra is, or it's like not ringing a bell. Explain it to me to the best of your knowledge.
So, I'm not a professional on this, okay? So
I gotta tell you, MK Ultra.
Okay. But MK Ultra was this thing that happened, I want to say in like the 80s or maybe the 70s.
You don't have to have like the time right. Nobody was alive back then. You can just say the 70s. Nobody will be able to dispute it.
Before I was born, basically. And the like CIA, I want to say, or maybe the FBI, I don't know, one of those government agencies was like basically they were taking people and like drugging them and trying to alter their brain patterns to basically like try to create these super agents that they could tell all these government secrets to, and in case these people were like taken and like interrogated, they wouldn't give up government secrets because they would basically like alter their brain so that these secrets were like hidden inside their brain in a different personality or something.
I believe
they were ruining people's lives is basically what it was.
I have a terrible short-term memory, and often I think that I am like some sort of Russian sleeper agent, and I'm just gonna wake up one day and be like, "Who am I?"
Yeah.
That was a joke. That was a joke, everybody. I don't actually believe that. But wouldn't that be crazy? Because I do have like really bad gaps in memory sometimes. I just think I have like
basically what they were doing though.
One brain cell left. No, mine's self-inflicted though.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That is so crazy to think about that. Like they were doing that. All these government experiments.
It was confirmed that they did it too. It wasn't like it. At first, it was like kind of like the boogeyman. Like people were like, "Oh, MK Ultra," and if you talked about it, you were just a crazy person. But then, like most of the people that were involved in it have now died. So they're like releasing actual like official paperwork and stuff on it. It's confirmed that that was a project by the government.
That's insane. We actually watched one of those Netflix documentaries on flat earthers, but like apparently there's two different flat earthers. There are people that actually believe the world is flat, and then there are flat earthers on the other side that don't believe that the earth is flat. They just use that terminology to describe like, oh, we believe in like crazy shit that the government is trying to hide. And one of the big points that they made was anytime you hear or see like an interview with somebody about a UFO sighting, it's always some like crazy backwoods hillbilly. And like they do that. They say the government does that on purpose because nobody's going to believe them. Yeah, you were out here in the woods, miles away from civilization, with nobody else to back you up, no accountability, and you sound and look crazy as fuck. Nobody is going to believe this. Yeah, sure, go ahead and run that news article. So that's what that made me think of.
But, like, it's also, like, the more exposure we have to these stories, the more normalized it becomes, so that when the government's like, yeah, aliens are real and they're attacking us, like, we're not going to be that surprised. We're just going to be
I
like,
really don't think we will. I don't think
no.
Like, an alien ship could land tomorrow and it could be all over the news, and I think everybody'd be like, are they sexy? Like, I really think
do they have tentacles?
Do they have tentacles? Is it like those shows?
No, I think because if it was like 30 or 50 years ago or something, people would be like freaking the hell out, you know?
Right. It's crazy. Here's a crazy fact about that. They did a study and they said if you took somebody from like the 1600s and like teleported them 200 years into the future, into the 1800s, they would be able to acclimate to life very easily. The jump in technology would not mess with them that much. They would be able to live normal lives. But they said if you took somebody from the 1970s and teleported them to today, they would not be able to function. Their brain would just shut down because it is so much of a I don't know, time shock, I guess. Like the advance in technology and like everything that we have nowadays would just like break them. They would not be able to handle it. And I'm like, that's crazy because people from the 70s are still alive.
Right.
You know?
But the advancement that happened between like the 1920s, like the Industrial Revolution or whatever, and like today was such like we had nothing. And then now we have everything at our fingertips. Right.
Right.
So like, it's like not really even that long ago, but it happened in such a short period of time that it's absolutely insane.
You think about everybody getting sick too, man. In the 1920s, everybody lived on like 18 hours of work a day and like potted mystery meat, and they lived to be like 100 years old.
Potted mystery meat like it's Fallout.
Just like whatever this mystery meat in this can, that's what we're gonna eat for again.
That's spam.
and now like everybody gets sick all the time, and like our immune systems are crappy, and like I don't know. It just I think that.
I think I read something somewhere that was like people always think that in like the 1600s or 1500s or whatever, the life expectancy was only like 30 years or something, when in actuality people whatever.
That's the Bible.
Like people think that like a long time ago the life expectancy was so much shorter and people just didn't get old. They would die before they would get old. But the reality was people died at such a young age. Like there were so many infant deaths that it dropped the average life expectancy to 30 instead of like, so people were living to be like 70 and shit. Right. It's just there are so many babies dying for like ever.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is really sad. And people didn't believe in well, we didn't have birth control, and nobody believed in the pull-out method, evidently. So they were just shooting babies everywhere.
Were we gonna talk about old school medicine? Do you know how they fixed kidney stones back then?
Wait, no.
They would essentially just like shove like a wire coat hanger up your pee hole and like try to poke around and poke your kidney stones. Yeah, it's fucked up. It's so fucked up. And then they would just be like, no, you're fine. Do some cocaine about it. And then they would just do cocaine. And then
I love how cocaine was like the answer to everything back in the day.
You got ghosts. I think you got ghosts in your blood. You should do cocaine about it.
Yeah, I was reading something. It was like, I would love to be a woman in like the earlier days where they were just like, oh, you're PMSing? Here, have some cocaine and a vibrator, and like, you just need to jerk off is what it is.
It's like, you just need a release. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
You'll be okay. Ma'am, I'm a doctor. Take this
you
cocaine.
have a mental illness? Just, let us ejaculate you, basically.
Oh man, it is, dude. It is so sad. Like after watching like American Horror Story, I think it was like the second or third season where they were how they handled crazy people or quote unquote people that weren't actually crazy,
right?
But how they would handle the mentally ill in like the old times, and it's like yeah, that's super fucked up. And like the birth of the lobotomy and how they would do stuff like that. It's really sad. I'm glad.
Yeah, there's so many like abandoned mental asylums in Massachusetts, because like Massachusetts, Connecticut, like those were like really big areas for those types of hospitals, and they're just like abandoned. I forget what president it was, but basically one of the presidents was like, yeah, I don't want to fund this anymore, so we're just going to kick everybody out, and you know, they're not going to get the treatment that they need for their mental illnesses anymore. So then all the hospitals got abandoned, and now they're spooky ooky.
Have you ever been to any of them?
No, I'm too scared.
You're too scared?
You've seen me in Phasmophobia. No.
I know, but there's something, there's like a rush that comes with going to check out an abandoned asylum. Yeah. We had one here near where we lived, and I mean, they closed it down a number of years ago. Like I was still a teenager, but we went a few times, and like they went people would go in there and spray paint and like red spray paint, like get out now and stuff like that. Like really creepy shit, dude. And it was so good though. It was so good though. Cause like just made the energy in the place seem that much creepier. Yeah. You know, now I choose not to fuck with any of that stuff. Like my wife will talk about anytime she sees a Ouija board, she's like, oh, we should buy that. And I'm like, I don't care if it's a pillow with a Ouija board on it. It's not coming in our house.
Nope.
Not even a little bit.
I am not inviting that in. No, thank you, ma'am.
Exactly. We're not inviting any dark. All it takes is the cat to fall asleep on the pillow, and boom, you got a demon. You know what I mean? Like, not doing that. No, thank you.
No.
So, conspiracy theories. You said Project MK Ultra. So they were doing that. Any other fun factoids or tidbits about that you picked up in your travels? With the podcast,
there was like, I feel like there was some story about, I don't know, they were like drugging people with like, I think this was like when acid was like they first created acid, and they were like trying to figure out what it does to people. And basically, I don't know if it was MK Ultra. I think it was a separate thing, but I
remember that. I do, because like there's a movie called The Men Who Stare at Goats that was about that, and they were like the government was like trying to create Jedi essentially.
Yeah, they like thought that they would give these people, or they were soldiers. So they were part of the military, and they were giving these military people like these drugs, trying to think that they would make these super soldiers that were like Captain America, like bah, bah, bah. And like and instead they were just like drugged the fuck out. Like there was this one guy, they said they gave him angel dust or something, which
my God.
A normal like street amount of angel dust. Like you are like,
don't get it twisted. Ercka knows her different angel dust.
I don't do angel dust, but I know this. So they say like a normal street amount of angel dust will make you like almost superhuman. Like you'll just like be like bouncing off the walls. Like you can like lift up a car or some shit. Yeah, like crazy shit. So they were like, oh, we're gonna give this guy a shit ton of angel dust, like way more than the recommended dose. And they gave it to him and then had him do an obstacle course. And he was moving so slow. He was like and he thought he was going so fast. He's like, look at me go. And they're like, yeah, you're doing it. You're doing it.
Oh my God. He had so much angel dust in him. That's insane.
So much. Yeah, and you should look up some of those stories because they're.
I want to. Yeah,
it's sad because none of these people knew they were taking drugs, so it's very sad, but it's fucking hilarious.
It is looking back, but man, I can't imagine the come down off of that. How freaked out these people were.
It ruined these people's lives. They have like mental disorders now because of it, and the government will not compensate them for the trauma that they caused them. It's absolutely horrible.
Is it because like it's unofficially like it didn't happen, but they're like, oh yeah, I guess it did happen. Okay.
Oh, you're on the other side of me.
There needs to be right. Yeah, you're on the other side.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't worry, Ercka has only had a normal amount of angel dust before the recording of this.
Only the recommended dose.
Only the recommended dose of angel dust. And I'm trying to think of what one of my favorite conspiracy theories is. Here's one of mine that I've been contemplating lately. I have a coworker that I don't work with anymore that I used to work with recently, and me and him would always talk about like quantum physics and like all sorts of weird like alien shit. And I never knew this, and I'm surprised. Like, it bothers me that people don't talk about it more. But the moon, like, I think Moonfall is a movie that came out recently that talks about the moon being like a megastructure or whatever.
Yeah.
And like,
I think it's hollow.
Kind of ties in a little bit to that, but just the shape and placement of the moon. We've known about this for decades. The moon is 400 times smaller than the sun. And then it is also 400 times its size away from the sun, which creates a perfect lunar eclipse. And if it was not in that space, we would not be able to have eclipses. And I just think it's wild that with how big the universe is, that like that doesn't just happen, you know, like it can't like statistically it doesn't just happen that we would have a structure that's exactly the right size and exactly in the right space to create something like a lunar eclipse. And so like, I'm just, what's going on with that, you know?
What is moon?
What is moon? Well, and then like the dark side of the moon, we do have pictures and stuff of like what it looks like over there, and like it looks totally different like from the rest of the moon. Like there definitely could be something living inside the moon.
I mean, it could be like maybe its own little planet. Who freaking knows, man? Who knows what's out there?
Oh my goodness. Here's a crazy conspiracy theory that ties into that. Have you heard the mega Earth theory? I don't think that's what it's called, but essentially it's like the Antarctic walls like protect, like the Earth is actually not a planet. The Earth is like I guess a continent or a country inside a much bigger planet. And so like the Antarctic walls protect us from like other species and races that live outside of those walls on this giant mega planet, and that the moon is actually a reflection of this mega structure that we live in. And I'm like, that sounds so batshit crazy. Like, we send people out into space all the time, and they post videos with their cell phone like out in orbit, like in front of the Earth, and I'm like, I don't believe that.
There's so many. Like, there's also like the hollow. There's some people that think the moon is hollow and there's a base inside of it. And then there's also people that think that the Earth is hollow and there are lizard people living inside it. The lizard
people, yeah. They almost funded. There was a president that signed, I think it was Teddy Roosevelt, almost signed off on an expedition to go find the lizard people or the mole people that live inside the Earth. Like,
Brendan Fraser would be, first on that mission.
He would be.
Journey to the center of the Earth. So. Let's go.
God, he is so awesome. We watched something.
I love him. Like, in my Discord, I have a whole Brendan Fraser appreciation fan club section, and it's just, we just post all the best memes and loving support for Brendan Fraser and everything that he does, because he's just a gem.
That's amazing. I watched it was an interview with Adam Sandler. It was Adam Sandler and Brendan Fraser talking to each other, and they were talking about Airheads, and like, dude, I gotta say, Adam Sandler is a fucking dick, dude. What a pretentious D-bag. I used to love his movies, but after watching that interview with him, because like the first opportunity he got, he was like, yeah, the only reason you were at Airheads is because I went to the producer's house and told him you needed to be in the movie. But like, he didn't say it in like a cool, like I did this because I love you and I wanted you to be in the movie. He said it in like, I did that. I gave you your career, like a very
I feel like he was trying to be funny, but it just came off kind of douchey instead.
Yeah, it really did. It really did. Yeah. And like, oh man. And like Brandon, he took it on the chin. He was just like, yeah, oh yeah, you did that. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, no, he really is. He seems like such a sweet guy. And like,
yeah.
I hope the best for him, and I hope that
I got to
he gets
meet him.
Shut
Yeah.
up. What?
So me and Super Dave Maha. So we went to a con in Boston, and it was like it was one of his like first cons back. Like it was a big deal. And it was like right after COVID. So it was like one of the first like resurgence of cons
like
again.
Like a year in when everything started opening back up for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was like a big deal. There were so many people there, and I was like, I'm taking a picture with Brendan Fraser. And we went to like his he had like a interview thing set up, and it was just him talking about like all of his favorite roles, and he's just so down to earth, and like he seems so appreciative of like, because people love him. People go crazy. Right. I go crazy. Right. And he's just like, oh, thank you so much. Like, you know, he's so sweet. He's not like a dickhead at all. He just gives off like very kind energy. And I think I scared him a little bit because I was like, I love you so much. And he was like, okay.
I'm sure he gets that from a lot of people. I did such a weird thing because like a lot of celebrities are like that. Some like, and I can see both sides of it. I can see like celebrities getting tired of being like harassed and like accosted all the time and just being like, dude, just get the fuck out of my face, you know?
Yeah.
But also like, I don't know, just the ones that are like so appreciative, like every time they're just so appreciative of the love and like, dude, I've never met you before, but you are part of the reason that I'm where I'm at in life. And like, I just really want you to know that I appreciate and love you because of it. And like, God, it hits home. I love it so much. I love it so much.
Especially when they have like, so for the photo ops, they had like, the line went like around and then around the corner. Like there were so many people that booked this photo op. And so you only had like 3 seconds with him, but every single interaction that he had that I could personally see was just like him just being genuine with every single person. And me, an empath, I'm like, that must be exhausting.
Yeah.
Like, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is mentally. I'm sure it's mentally and physically exhausting because you know, like on the other side, I'm sure there are a bunch of fans that like probably like look kind of gross and stuff too. And it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna, you know, you smell like a Taco Bell lobby, like.
Yeah, he's very sweet.
That is amazing. I'm sure Adam Sandler, I'm sure he probably did not mean anything by it. Let me back in case Adam Sandler watches this. I don't want him to think that I was just talking shit about him. I do. I still love like his good movies, Waterboy, Little Nicky. He had a lot of them from the 90s. Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison. And all his family. Wait, what are you raising your hand for?
I was trying to get my camera to refocus.
Oh, okay. I was like, do you have something you would like to add, Ercka?
I'm so sorry. I was trying to do it like discreetly, so like I didn't interrupt you.
Just tell me to shut up. It's fine.
No. I was like, but yeah, no, his old movies, I feel you. Like those were the classics.
And like he's making movies now, but he's making a lot more like family friendly movies and stuff. And I think that's super respectable. Like on one end, he's making millions of dollars from Netflix to be able to do it. So like, hell yeah, you know, get your check and support your family. You know what I mean? But also like he's not selling out and doing like the same things that made him famous either. You know, so. Good for him. I just hope that he is not actually a dick in real life. Adam, if you're watching this, you better be fucking humble, man. And you better say thank you and be nice to people. Or else something. I don't know.
I did see a picture of him. It was like him walking in the streets of New York City in like sweatpants and a hoodie, eating a jar of pickles. And I was like, I feel like that is so relatable.
Eating a jar of pickles and just walking around the street. I mean,
yeah.
Okay.
Like, you know, I love pickles, man.
I do too.
He's like, I'm taking my pickles to go. Adam Sandler.
I think when you reach like a point of celebrity status, like you just don't give a fuck anymore either. You just like you said, I just really want pickles. Like normal person, like nobody knows who I am. But if I were to go to like a parade or something and I wouldn't just be eating a jar of pickles, because then everybody would be taking pictures and stuff, and they'd be like, look at this guy just eating a jar of pickles.
And I'd be like, you want one?
You want one?
Would
you like a pickle? Oh, wait. I have to backtrack for a second. I do have a real message for Adam Sandler. Punch Drunk Love was slept on. Okay. It was a really good movie. I got where you were going with it, but fuck me, was it way too long. You could have told the same story in like an hour and 20 minutes.
That's fair assessment.
That's my message for Adam. There we go. I feel better about it. Because it was a pretty good movie. It's just really, really long.
I agree.
Did you ever see it?
I did. I saw it once. Once was enough.
It was enough. Because that was like his first like weird like artsy movie that he did outside of like the comedy movies. And it had its moments. It did have a couple funny moments.
It had its time.
All right, so we talked about the moon. We could segue into aliens. Do you think Adam Sandler is an alien?
I don't know if Adam Sandler is an alien, but there are some people I think might be.
Oh, yeah? Who? The Zuck? Do you think Mark Zuckerberg's an alien?
100%. Or a robot.
Have you seen the videos with, like, the lizard eyes? I mean, it could easily be shopped, but it looks very legit.
Yeah.
It looks really legit. I think, and just his mannerisms and the way he talks, like when he's like, "Oh yeah, I love that Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce," and just like he just talked about nothing.
Casually put in my living room or wherever it was, and not in the kitchen.
I really love Sweet Baby Ray's. And it's just like
this picture was not sponsored by Sweet Baby Ray's at all. I have no idea what you mean.
We're just hanging out making some ribs, and I got the Sweet Baby Ray's right here. Sweet Baby Ray's is a pretty good barbecue sauce, so I will say that. This is not sponsored, but if Sweet Baby Ray's wants to sponsor us, I will take like 25% of what you paid Mark Zuckerberg, and then I'll just live comfortably for the rest of my life.
You should put it on my green screen, and we'll have the sponsor.
Sweet Baby Ray's.
What is Sweet Baby Ray's doing in the back of this podcast?
Oh, I don't go anywhere without my Snuggie or my off-brand Snuggie or my Sweet Baby Ray's. I have to have that Sweet Baby Ray's.
Gotta have it.
Where's your drink from?
Be slapping.
Where's your drink from? I see that cup. I see how you have it turned so we can't see it. Is that your Dunkin'? It is.
My Dunkies.
My Dunkies.
Listen, I'm a New England girl. We have Dunkies 24/7.
We had a Dunkin' Donuts not that far from here, and it shut down. And it was like the only one within like hours away.
It's so weird when I travel because they're really not that many around. But like here, like where I live, there's like 4 on one street. I'm not even joking.
That's amazing.
I counted it one time.
I would be eating and drinking Dunkin' all the time. Cause like, dude, they have the best breakfast sandwich I've ever had from anywhere ever is Dunkin' Donuts, like bacon, egg, and cheese bagel. It is so good.
I will say I prefer Starbucks coffee, but it's too expensive and their food sucks.
Oh, you don't deserve that mustache anymore.
I'm sorry. I said what I said. But Dunkin's is not bad, and they have everything that I need, and it's reasonably priced. So
there's the winner right there. It's reasonably priced. Starbucks, and like I don't know,
of the people for the people.
Unless you're like like changing, like I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Unless you're like building like I don't know something crazy with your order, which Starbucks can do. Like there's not anything to write home about off of their just normal menu, you know.
They'd be wild.
I don't do that at all. I'm just like I want a vanilla frappuccino, some basic shit. Throw an extra shot of espresso in there for me. And you notice I said espresso and not espresso because I don't know how to talk right.
I think it is espresso, isn't it?
It's
spelled espresso.
Do you enunciate the S when you say it though? Espresso?
I don't put a whole lot of emphasis on it, but I don't say espresso like some people.
Oof, that hurt my ears to hear. Espresso. Ugh.
A lot of people say that. They say espresso.
Do they really?
And I'm like, I think it's espresso.
Well, if any of those people are listening right now, learn to say the fucking word right. It's espresso, not espresso. It doesn't do anything faster except make you poop faster.
That's true.
That was it. That was the bit. I don't have anything after that.
Poop. That's it.
Yeah, poop.
Just
Poop is the end of all jokes. It doesn't go anywhere else. Maybe out to the ocean at some point. I don't know how sewers work either.
I mean,
obviously.
I feel like all bodies of water essentially lead back to the ocean at some point.
Do they?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm landlocked.
I think that's how
though.
pollution works. I don't know.
I'm in Arkansas. How long does it take my poop to get from Arkansas to the ocean? Which ocean is it going to? Is it going to the Atlantic? Or wait. Now we're saying bad words. Does it go to the Atlantic or the Pacific?
Pacific.
The Pacific Ocean. Yeah.
The Pacific.
The specific. Yeah. Throws chair.
Table.
Set Snuggie on fire. No, but I wonder how long it does take to get.
Broke my mustache.
Oh no! Not my mustachio.
Oh no!
Just so you guys know, Ercka is Italian, so that is a real mustache.
I grew it myself. I get it from my great grandpappy.
How's he doing?
Well, he's dead, so.
Oh. Pretty good then. He's doing good. He's doing all right.
I will tell you though, I did like Ancestry because I wasn't like nobody in my family that is alive today knows where our lineage comes from in Italy. So I tracked it back, and my great grandfather immigrated from this like little teeny tiny village in Italy. It was called Ravescanina.
Okay.
And he basically took a boat out of Naples to New York City and then came down to Massachusetts. But my little cousin went on a trip to Italy. And
so wait, how long ago? So your family just never left Massachusetts?
No. Like they immediately, like, great granddad got off the boat in New York City and was like, we're booking it to Boston, and they just never left.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I feel like, especially within like the Italian community, people are very tight-knit, so
yes,
like, they tend to just stick with their community.
I have heard that before, and like I've talked about that with people before, because like in Italian families, stop me if I'm wrong, feel free to jump in, correct me at any time, but in Italian families, it is not uncommon for children to like stay and live at home until they're like 30 before they like get married and then like move out and get their own house and stuff, like because the families are so close knit and they just kind of live together, and that's how they roll. So that is super interesting, like how the culture difference, because like I don't know, man, we're like, I don't want to give away my last name, but a lot of Scottish on my dad's side, like Scottish and Irish on my dad's side, and then on my mom's side, it's all Greek. Like she was full Greek, her parents were full Greek all the way back, and our family, as soon as we turned like of age, like between 16 and 18, like we're out of the house, dude. We're get the fuck out of here. Thanks, mom and dad. We're gonna go live our own life now. And it's crazy how different cultures are and stuff. So
yeah,
I also didn't.
Yeah, like even my family, we all live like in a 20-minute radius of each other. Like nobody lives farther than like the surrounding cities. Like that's it.
It's kind of smart. You're pre-planning because like eventually like your folks are going to need you to like help take care of them and stuff. And that's just kind of like the circle of life, you know? And it's like, if you live 5 states away, it's like, oh fuck, now I got to get up and move back. You know? Well,
that was the thing when we were kids. Like our parents would just drop us at our grandmother's, like on the drop of a dime. Like it was not planned or anything. They're just like, I'm just going to drop you off. Like have fun. And then wouldn't see them for like hours. Pretty sure they were going to the bar, but like convenient because she's right there. So
it's good they didn't take you to the bar with them.
That's true.
That is, yeah. Well, I mean, we do that. Like, my wife's grandma and her aunt live together, and they're not that far from us, and they're usually our babysitters. So like that's kind of how we roll. It's like I'll drop them off in the mornings, they hang out over there during the day. We don't have to pay for a babysitter, and then pick them up on the way home. So yeah. It is nice. It is nice having family nearby that can
like a built-in babysitter. Yeah,
it really is. It really is,
yeah.
Dude. Babysit some friends of ours, man. They said they paid like $4,000 one month for childcare, and I'm like, holy, like how? It'd be cheaper if one of y'all just quit your fucking job and like stayed at home to watch the kid, you know?
And start your own fucking daycare at that point. I had a friend do that actually. She makes a lot of money now, so it was.
You got to be good at it. Yeah, that is awesome. But like, is there no like licensing, or do you have to get a license to be able to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you have to like make sure that your like home is safe and stuff for children,
and that you're not a serial murderer or like into some
right
Hansel
or
and Gretel
a pedo.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
good. I'm glad somebody's checking into these things and not just letting people become babysitters without any sort of
exactly. To circle back though, so my family came from this little teeny tiny village, like I was telling you, and then so my cousin went to Italy with their partner, like this past summer or the summer before, I don't remember. Probably this past summer because COVID. But so they were traversing around Italy, and they were like, you know what? I would love to go see where we're from. So, you know, they get there and they're talking to the tour guide, and the tour guide's like, oh, that's like a convent now. Like, like nobody that actually lived in that village still lives there. They either like immigrated to America, like my family, or they moved to Portugal. Like nobody lives there anymore.
I feel like there's a lot of cities, and like not cities, but towns and stuff in Italy that are abandoned, that they're like now they're starting to move back in people and starting to renovate. And like I've seen a bunch of like abandoned towns and stuff in Italy. They're gorgeous too.
Yeah, so beautiful. And it's so sad because things were so rough back in the day for people, and it was so hard for them. A lot of families, especially in Italian culture, they were so poor that they didn't have like a tablecloth. They would use the linen from the bed for a tablecloth. So like once you were out of bed, you didn't make the bed. You took the cloth off the bed and put it on the table.
Oh, God. That reminds me of a meme I saw today that was like, the crumbs in my bed help exfoliate my skin. Like,
oh, God.
Oh, God. Oh, it's
the
so
struggle
rough.
Be real.
The struggle be real. But also, why not just not use a tablecloth?
Like, because they still want to be fancy.
I mean, if you have a broom, I mean, I guess they are Italian. You know, so they got to have the tablecloth. I would just not have a tablecloth, and I would just, you know, sweep the floor or something.
Yeah. And then, I mean, there was like that whole Mussolini thing too.
Oh,
so
that too.
People left because they were like not about the Mussolini life. Can't really blame them.
I don't blame them one bit.
Yeah.
It's, you know what? While we're talking about conspiracy theories, it's crazy to think all like the big shit that's happened in the world over like the last 100 years. Especially considering like the 40s and like World War II and stuff, and like how long it's been since there's been like a giant upheaval like that, and how America's not doing so great right now. And like, oh man, there were a bunch of rumors with like the Russia shit that like Texas is the only state that could cede from the United States and be fully operational and be fully sustainable by themselves. They could totally just be like, we don't want to be a part of you guys anymore. And they could be like the first like country province. Yeah.
They've tried. They've tried before.
They're not going
to do it again.
They're going to do it again, I bet. And you know, like California could like
do it again.
Yeah. California could break off like at any minute, you know.
Just anything. Earthquakes.
Yeah, the San Andreas fault and stuff, they could just break off. But like there were rumors that like, I don't know, after the abortion laws and stuff that got passed recently, there were rumors that, you know, like the UN was going to invade and Europe was going to invade and take over America, and like even Russia was thinking about invading, and like, dude, it is crazy. I couldn't imagine that. I mean, especially over like like the abortion laws and stuff, I can't imagine how many armed service people would just be like, all right, yeah, come on in. we're gonna go ahead and step aside. You guys do your thing, you know. And but
It's
like
so crazy to me.
how yeah, it would be bad. Like I really think it would be bad. But I would really hope that like the majority of people would just be like, yes, please come on in, fix shit for us.
Yeah,
you know, hit the reset
I think
button.
people would, you know, people would be
really
like
think
waving
they
the
would
white
too.
flag, like, "Hi, I'm an American, but I'm not a shit ass.
Yeah.
Please be nice." You know?
Do you need a place to stay? Like we'll
Yeah.
put some soldiers up
you want
for
some coffee, like a croissant, like
a
what
croissant?
do you want?
Would you like a croissant?
Oh, Yvonne, you want croissant?
Oh man, because it's so hard. It's so hard to be an American, you know, because like it's like you want to have pride in your country, you want to like love your country and stuff, but like God, there's so many fuckheads in Congress.
Erckamerca.
Yeah, Erckamerca, exactly.
Erckamerca.
And like just like dumb laws getting passed and like I don't know. I really hope
and
that
it's scary too to think that like laws that protected us at one point can just like poof go away at any moment.
Yeah. And then they can make new laws that suck even worse. And then they're like, oh, we're going to make these laws to where you can't ever change them again.
Yeah. Like, where does it end? You know? We were supposed to be, like, the land of the free, and it's slowly feeling like we're not very free. I mean, we've never really been free for everybody to begin with. Just gonna put that out there.
Yeah.
But even, like, the little freedoms that they do give us, they're just like, nope. They're like that guy with the dollar on the fishing rod, and he's like, gotta be quicker than that.
Yep.
Like,
I mean, it is exactly like that.
Yeah.
I think that I talk with my current coworker a lot about this, but like, I think that, and I want to think positively about the future. I try to think positively about the future, and that we are going to hit a point in humanity where like money's not going to matter. The capitalism's not going to matter anymore. And our only goal is going to be for like the human race to evolve, like technologically, you know, like let's cure these diseases, let's end world hunger, you know, let's fix the you know, all the environmental problems,
global
you know,
crisis.
the emissions.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like I really think that we all need to get on the same page and do that, you know, but no, it's like fucking, oh, everybody's worried about the dude that's got 33 Lamborghinis, you know, and like
real quick though, like, so the global crisis that we are having, it literally hurts me deeply because people will sit there and be like, we need to recycle more and we need to do this and we need to do that. The main problem with our ozone and with our planet are big industrial companies emitting toxic fumes into our planet's atmosphere.
Right.
And when those companies were closed during the pandemic, the ozone layer was healing itself.
Yep.
And now they're just back up and running again and shit's fucking falling apart. And it's like, we have the power to get things productive in a environmentally friendly way, and we're just choosing not to.
Yeah.
And granted, there are other companies or other countries that are kind of making it a problem for everybody. And we don't really have a lot of control over that. But like at the same time, it's like, it's one planet. Can we maybe get on the same page about it?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree totally. I really think that that's what it's gonna take. I mean, it's gonna take everybody putting aside their differences, and like I hate to be like, yeah, we all just need to get along, you know, but
it's true though.
It is true. It is true. We need the world leaders, the powers that be, to, you know, quit being dickheads about it, and like, hey, like let's make these changes, and like let's get on the same page.
We need to stop voting for people for like their personal beliefs, and we need to start voting for what's best for the entire world. Right. Not just our country or our beliefs.
Oh God, the whole process of voting is so outdated. Like American Idol had people calling in their votes when that show first started, and like half the world was calling in to vote for these people on American Idol. And now we have like cell phones. Everybody's got cell phones, and like why with the polling places, why are we not voting on issues like every week? They need to just be like, all right, Friday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. we're gonna put a new law up for debate, and everybody in the country is gonna vote for this law. And sure, we're gonna have some things that are like Bodie McBoatface, but everybody wants that. Everybody wants Bodie McBoatface. So we should let it.
You gotta have a little silly.
You gotta have a little silly, you know.
Yeah.
And like that's totally fine. But I think like the real issues and stuff, we don't need to wait 2 years to vote on this shit again. We can go ahead and knock it out on Friday, you know. Like the founding fathers did not expect cell phones or immediate communication. No. And like just the whole premise of like the House of Representatives and like state senators, like all that shit is so outdated now. Like we don't need it. Like we can get the voice of the people. We
have our own voice. Yeah.
Yeah, we can get the voice of the people where it needs to go. And you know what? That's going to free up like $1 trillion in revenue every year that we've been paying these people, and we can do something else.
These people don't want to work. They don't want to do real work. They get paid to do nothing. They want to do that.
Do you know about Plato's Utopian Society? Have you ever heard this before?
No.
Okay. It's a very cool premise. So Plato's Utopian Society is based on society being broken down into 3 circles. Okay. And so in the center circle, you have your politicians. And to be anybody who wants to be a politician could go in there and be a politician, but there are rules. The rules are you don't get paid. So like you are not allowed to take bribes. You cannot have money. They provide you the clothes that you wear and like your housing.
You're a civil servant.
Yeah, they provide your housing and they take care of you and your family. They make sure that you're taken care of. But it's to take money out of the equation. So you're not biased. You're not making decisions based on
financial gain.
Exactly. You can't do it for financial gain. And if you're caught taking a bribe, like you don't go to jail, they just take you out of the inner circle and you're not ever allowed to be a part of the politician circle ever again.
But like jail's cool too.
Jail, I mean, there could be punishment in it. Hopefully they would have some sort of system in place. If you're sleeping in the same house that they're paying for and you're eating the same food, your neighbors are going to catch on real quickly if you end up having some nice shit. You know, there'd be no way to hide it. There'd be no way to hide that you're taking
you got
these
over
bribes.
there, huh?
Yeah. I'm digging a hole in my yard to hide this money for when I'm not a part of the politician circle anymore. It would still be harder to do. And then like your middle ring is like your normal people, you know, you have your everyday workers, your normal people. But then the furthest ring on the outside is your military, and everybody has, like most countries do this, everybody has to serve like a year or 2 of military duty to like, you know, that's your payment to your country. You know, so you like graduate high school or whatever, you go join the military for a year or 2 and do your service, do your civil duty, and then you get to go either into the middle circle to be with the regular people, or you can go join and be a politician. That was it. That was the end of that bit. But no, I think about that a lot because I do think that something like that could help the country, and a lot of other countries do stuff like that. A lot of Asian countries like Japan, you have to be a civil servant for like a year, you know, it's guaranteed. But then like there's so many other progressive laws in other countries, like with the recycling and stuff. Japan, you know, they have a wonderful public transportation system that you don't have to pay a dime for. They have machines where you can just feed like plastic bottles and like shit you find, and for however much you pump into the machine, like it gives you credits to ride the public transportation, which is amazing. Like if we had something like that here in America, like I think things would be a lot more productive. A lot more people could have like better jobs and stuff because it'd be easier for them to commute, and we'd be putting out a lot less emissions into the air, you know. And I think, you know, we definitely could benefit from some sort of public transportation and like just better laws and stuff, you know. I want to,
especially like living in a city and seeing like the public transportation that we have. Is Boston has one of the worst, I mean, because New York's probably worse, and so is California and like LA, but like Boston's public transportation system is absolute garbage. It's so bad, and it's constantly breaking down. Like there are constant delays, like constant accidents, just like it's falling apart. They like tried to do this like underground dig to try and rework the system, and then it collapsed on the highway. And you know, almost killed a bunch of people. So
wow.
So they're not with it, you know. Like it could be better. It could be so much better.
Boston is super cool though. I do gotta say,
Boston is cool. Boston is really cool.
I've been to
I'm
Boston,
not shitting on it.
Yeah, I've been to Boston one time, and my experience. You might know the place that I went to, but I don't know. We went to. I can't remember the name of the club, but we went to. It was like a busy downtown like club bar area, and we went to this bar, and it was like a 4 or 5 story club, and like each floor had a different club in it, and then at the top there was a bridge that went from the bar on the top across the street to another bar, like from the 5th floor. And
I forget the name of it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay, cool. I've been there, and I met, and like it was so weird because I came across the bridge, and in that other bar, that last bar, there was like the final boss, and it was Pauly D from Jersey Shore was like DJing at the top.
Oh my gosh!
It was.
I went out in Providence one night, and we usually went to this one club when we were like 21, 22. And we were planning on going there this one Saturday night, and we get there and they're like, admission is like $25. And we were like, what? Like, there's never an entry fee here ever. Right. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not paying you $25 for your shitty club. And they were like, we got DJ Pauly D, so if you want to get in, you gotta give us $25. And I was like, I'll just go watch Jersey Shore, thanks.
Yeah, seriously, I don't need to meet Pauly D that bad. I didn't get charged to go in there, and like I could have walked up and met him, but it was Pauly D, so I was like,
it was
I'm good.
so dumb.
That was good. How long ago was that? Mine was probably
like 10 years ago.
This probably about the same time. There wasn't any cover. There wasn't any cover fee. He must have been like a
well, this was
DJ.
Providence, so they were probably trying to milk it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you got to. He's Pauly D. Jersey Shore, even at that point, had been over for like 5 years. He needed
exactly.
Go get yours, Pauly D. That's fine.
You know, he tried.
Back to the Adam Sandler thing. Fuck you, Pauly D.
Oh my gosh. What a callback.
I could see I could see his highlights from across the street. They were loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Pauly D. All right. we are just about we're actually over on time. So I'm going to say we're just about over. We're at the end. Words are happening. And, I usually like to end each episode. There's usually like a heartfelt message. This is your platform. Imagine that you have, first of all, do you have anything you'd like to promote coming up? Do you have any streams or just anything else? It doesn't have to be a stream. Could be anything. Do you have anything you want to promote before we leave?
I would just say, go follow my best friend Kushter, because she's amazing, and she streams way more regularly than I do.
Look at Ercka.
And I'm usually in there sometimes, so I'll still be there.
She'll still be there. But look at her. She's given her shout out to Kushter. So go follow. Ercka's thing is right below her. Go follow Ercka's Twitch, but she's saying go follow Kushter's Twitch. So go follow Kushter's Twitch as well. And Kushter was on a previous episode, so you can go back in time to one of my previous episodes and learn all about Kushter as well. So that was your shout out. Now for the real fun. It's time for your public message to the world. Imagine that you have 1 million people in front of you right now, and you can say, you know, whatever you want to these 1 million people. You know, you could do something positive about mental health. You could do something, you know, positive about the environment, like anything you want to say. Ercka, the floor is yours.
I mean, yeah, all of those things. I would say just be kind to one another and to the planet, because everybody is going through something that you don't know about. Just like you're probably going through something that nobody else knows about. So just be nice.
You sound like Brent. You sound like Brendan Fraser right now. That sounds like something Brendan Fraser would say. You have been embodied by Brendan Fraser for this message to the world. But you guys heard it from Ercka. Be kind. Be kind to everybody. Even Adam Sandler. Be kind. But not Pauly D. Fuck that guy. Unless he's going through something. If he's going through something, then I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Polly, if you're going through something, man. I hope it gets better for you. But that is going to wrap up tonight's episode. I appreciate everybody checking out the YouTube video. Remember to like and subscribe wherever the button is. It's down here, over here. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Maybe if you're feeling super zesty, you can share these episodes on your social medias. You know, share your favorite episode. Be like, hey, they talked about penis monsters or something. It was really cool. Check it out. But we appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate Ercka. You have been a wonderful guest. This is definitely one of my favorite episodes. Don't tell my other guests, but it has been a laugh riot from start to finish, and I am still jealous of your mustache, even though it's CGI'd in. We spent all of this episode's budget on Ercka's mustache, so definitely tell us in the comments how you felt about it. And
hey,
I love you
guys.
Aw, I love you too, Ercka. I do the heart thing back.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. I cannot wait to play some more Forest and Sons of the Forest when it finally comes out. That's going to be a lot of fun. Next week's episode, or guest I should say, after Ercka, we got Niku Senpai. Niku Senpai is one of my favorite Mario Maker players. He is a really good dude. His memes are all about the anime waifus, and so it's definitely going to be a really fun time. He also doesn't stream with a camera, so I don't know if we're going to get him on camera or not, but I think we probably will. I think he may actually set up a camera for this one. You'll just have to tune in next week and find out. So until then, thanks for being here on Wonder Bathos, and good night.